Hey guys, today I'm going to show you all how to draw a one-point perspective name. There's a couple rules for this project. The two rules are to draw your first name and draw every line using a ruler. Now, here is a simple way of how to draw block letters with a ruler. What you could do is write your letters just like you regularly do, and then using a ruler, draw a bubble or a block around what you wrote. Then go through and erase the original letter that you wrote. So there's an A, R, T. You don't have to do it like that, but you do have to draw all of your lines with a ruler, and that's a really simple little cheat way how to draw block letters. Now, one thing that's going to be tricky for you guys is to fit your whole name on your paper. So I have a little helpful hint for you. So for those of you who have an even amount of letters in your name, like 4, 6, like this name, or 8 or more, what you can do is you can fold your paper in half, hamburger style. That way you have a center line down the middle. You're going to draw half of your letters on one side, half of your letters on the other side. So if your name is Nick and you only have 4 letters in your name, you're going to draw your N and I on this half, CK on this half. In this case, this is how you would draw a 6-letter name. 3 letters on one side, 3 letters on the other side. Now, if you have an odd amount of letters in your name, like the name Tyler, you're not going to crease it, but you are going to figure out what the middle letter of your name is. So in this name Tyler, L is in the middle. What you do is you're going to draw that middle letter on your paper first in the middle. Then you have room to draw all of your other letters. So TY on one side of the L, ER on the other side of the L. That's for 5. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you guys through how I would draw my name. My name is Jessica and it has 7 letters. So I also have to think of my middle letter, which is an S. And I'm going to go ahead and draw my name in block letters. You guys can just watch, or you can push pause and go ahead and get started on your own practice. So you guys are drawing your first name only, and you are using a ruler for every line. So I have to fit 7 letters here. That's my middle letter. I have to fit 3 letters on this side and 3 letters on this side. You can draw all capital letters if you want, or all lowercase letters, or you can mix it up however you like. You can draw basic block letters, kind of like I'm doing, or if you feel like you're a little bit more advanced of an artist, you can get more fancy and creative with your letters. Just make sure you use a ruler for every line. Okay, there's the name. That's the first step of the project. The second step of the project is to draw a vanishing point anywhere on the paper where you have a lot of empty space. A vanishing point is just a little tiny dot. It can be at the bottom of the paper, it can be in the top, it can be in one of the corners, just anywhere where you have a lot of empty space. So for instance, I wouldn't put my dot here. That's not a good empty space. Okay, now the final step to make our name look like it's 3D is to draw something called converging lines. Kind of like you practiced the other day, you drew lines from your shapes to the dot or the vanishing point. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to look at each letter and look at every corner of every letter and draw a line from that corner to this vanishing point. And every line needs to point at this point. So I'm going to start with my first letter. You line up the ruler with the point and a corner and you draw the line. Just like that. And then move on to the next corner. Okay, now here's our first special line. If you see, on this path to the point is my E. What happens is I'm going to go ahead and draw that line, hit the E, and stop. Do not continue the line to the vanishing point. Stop whenever you hit something. So you're going to see that a couple of times. Just like that. Now another kind of special line is this one. If I were to draw this converging line to my vanishing point right now, notice I would be drawing on my letter. I do not want to draw on the letter. So that line exists, but we can't see it because it's going to be behind the J. So since we can't see it, you don't have to draw it. Move on to the next one. Again, it hits something, so stop. This one, again, I cannot draw because it would be on the J, so I don't make it. I'm not going to make this one or this one either because they're behind the letter. This one here hits my J, so you draw it until it stops. And then this last one, I'm not going to draw it because, again, it's behind the J. So those are all of the converging lines I would draw for that first letter. You can go ahead and practice with your first letter. I'm going to go ahead and move on and finish mine. Sometimes the lines start to get really messy because you just have so many lines next to each other. So like for instance, here's 3 in a row, very close together. And this one from my first S kind of comes down and touches exactly the same line of the bottom of my second S. So I have all my lines drawn. They're just kind of confusing to see sometimes. And you always have to make sure to be really careful. All of the lines need to go to this point. You don't want your lines to start hitting here or anywhere else. So at the bottom here, they are going to start getting clustered, and that's fine. Okay, I think I'm finished. I think I have all of the appropriate corners drawn. All of the lines stopping where they need to stop. Okay, now, once you're done making your name in a 3-point perspective drawing, or 1 point, did I say 3? 1 point, then you're going to go ahead and bring me your practice paper when you're done. I'm going to just check over it, make sure you have all of your lines drawn where they need to be. And once you finish that, I'm going to have you just keep practicing for the rest of the hour. You can practice drawing your last name, or your grandma's name, or your pet's name, or your best friend's name. But I definitely want you to keep practicing. Good job, guys.